Okay, so I just want to start this off by saying I actually recorded the chunk of this video you're about to watch on New Year's Eve, 7 days ago. But I didn't release it, and now that I've watched it, and I'm just kind of like, I want it to exist. Like, if not for y'all, at least for me. I just want it to exist somewhere, and maybe if you watch it, it might, I don't know, help you with something that you're going through as well. So I just want to release this video, and I'll see you guys at the end. Here you go. 2020 is finally over. We're finally at the end of it. And as much as I wish that I could say, well, for me, in roughly 11-ish hours, when the clock strikes midnight and it's 2021, everything just goes back to quote unquote normal, right? And unfortunately, it won't. But to not be too depressing and too negative about it, here's to hoping, though, as we move forward in 2021, it's only going to go up from here, because there's so many things that we all wanted to do in 2020. We were going to do, me personally, with my friends, we're going to do a squad meetup and hopefully make some dope IRL content. And then things like, you know, just going to TwitchCon and meeting a lot of y'all again and all of that. So here's to hoping that as 2021 moves forward, maybe not even towards the end of 2021, but maybe in 2022, we're all able to do things, go back to conventions. I get to meet y'all and have a good time. And so this video is just to thank you all for all the incredible support, and also hopefully give you guys some motivation. I know, you know, a lot of things have been down. And a couple things I haven't really talked about, and I guess not to be too depressing, but just to kind of get it out of the way. You know, my 2020 was obviously not as bad as it could have been, because I get to do this and I get to work from home. So I can't say a whole lot. So I just want to give mad props to those of you that work in restaurants, that work in hospitals, that work in retail, that work in all these things that are public facing. You're still going into your job. And so, you know, shout out to all of y'all that are doing that. And so that's just something that obviously for me, I'm incredibly thankful for, that I get to sit here, you know, by myself in this room and do all of this, and you guys watch, and it's the most insane thing. But something I didn't really talk about, period. I told Dino and a couple other people, but I actually lost a grandparent to COVID this year. And it's not one I was really close to. And another thing I don't talk about a lot, I'm just going to lay a bunch on you here, is, you know, I didn't have a whole lot to do with my dad, or really anything to do with my father's side, which is really unfortunate, because I have siblings that I would love to hang out with and love to get to know. You know what I mean? I've got two little sisters and two little brothers that are all half, and like, I would love to be involved with them, but it's just not that, you know, the hand that I was dealt, right? You know, not to go too deep with it, but I mean, literally a good example is the fact that from the time I was 8 till the time I was 18, I had zero contact, no texts, no calls, no seeing, anything like that with my dad or any side of his family. Period. So when I make those dad jokes that some of y'all maybe think are just jokes, they are just jokes, and they're maybe a coping mechanism. I mean, I'm a grown ass man now. I don't really care that much. There may be some, you know, some buried down resentment and stuff like that. For the most part, my day to day, it's not something I think about. But anyways, it was his dad. You know, it was my grandpa actually got COVID and did pass away. So something that affected me fairly close, right? Even though I wasn't really close to him, and I don't have too many memories with him. I did still see him a little bit when I was a little child. But still, it's the thing that did end up affecting me. And the other thing too, I didn't ever talk about, was I actually lost a pup. You know, I grew up with a single mom, and I stayed home throughout all of college. And towards the end of my college career, we actually rescued an 11-month-old. She was a Yorkie poo. She was a Yorkie and a poodle mix, and we named her Ari after the League of Legends character. If you guys play League, I still play a little bit, but I used to play League a ton. We're talking like hundreds, maybe even thousands of matches of League. Like, I just used to play League all the time. And so we named her after Ari, one of my favorite characters still, honestly. She's part of KDA. And I got a call from my mom right the day before Thanksgiving, and she was, you know, bawling and stuff, and she had taken her to the vet, and she said that she was in kidney failure, and she had just been kind of acting a little weird. And they did an ultrasound on her, and they did a bunch of stuff. And they brought her back out, you know, because right now you can't go inside the vet because of everything going on. You just have to sit outside. I found that out with my own dog. Anyways, she brought her back out, told her she's fine. And she just asked, can you do a blood test? Just see if you can see anything with blood test. And she brought her back out, and she's shaking her head. And she said, yeah, she's in kidney failure. So, you know, she's like, there's a kidney specialist. Immediately rushed her to a kidney specialist and an animal hospital that was, you know, technically 3.5 hours away from me to try and get her help. And then they weren't able to help us. They told us that she looked fine, whatever. They gave her some fluids. Well, once they gave her fluids, I guess whatever toxins were in her body that was causing the kidney failure pushed through her body much faster. I am so sorry. I didn't mean this to be depressing. I'll get over this super quick here. But anyways, needless to say, they gave her more fluids, hoping then it would then get the toxins out of her. She was going downhill really quick. The next thing you know, we took her back to the hospital. We let her stay overnight. and she went from kidney failure to total kidney shutdown. And if you're not familiar with that, basically once your kidney shut down, there's really nothing they can do. So she was just not able to process any fluids. And so she was just retaining everything they were giving her. And there was nothing we could do. And that was probably, I mean, I've lost pets in my life, you know, obviously being almost 30 years old, I've lost a few of them now, but that was the hardest one without question. She was still fine. I'm about to have to pause for a second. That was the hardest one, period, that I've ever had been a part of, because she was still acting normal. She was still acting fine, because she's putting on this game face, I think, for my mom and for me and stuff. And they weren't supposed to let us in, but I was just like, this is our dog, like, and our like last moments with our dog. So they let us come in and stuff and spend some time with her. And we would sit there for weeks if we could, but we knew she was in pain, and we knew it was, you know, it's time to say goodbye. So, okay, I'm going to cut myself off there because I went in this video on a high note. We are now outside of the shit year that is 2020. We're now in 2021. And while these first few days haven't been great, we can't let the start of this year define the rest of it, period. So what I want to say here, and this is super cliche, but you know, it's something where I get to sit here and do content creation because of all of you. And I thank you so much every single day. I am beyond thankful that I get to sit here and do this. Anything you set your mind to, you can truly accomplish. I promise you. If little old me, there's nothing special about me, can sit here in front of this camera, in front of this mic, and talk to y'all, and thousands of people watch, then you can do whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be a promotion at your job, whether it be your fitness journey, whether it be content creation. The thing I've been doing a lot recently, back in the day, I would always set my goals way up here. You can't even see it, right? I would just be down here chipping away, and I feel like I'm getting nowhere. And I'm not gonna lie, I've quit. I've done many YouTube channels and quit. And even sometimes with fitness, it would be like I was working towards this goal and I just feel like I'm getting nowhere. So what I started doing is it's much more of a stepping stone aspect. So I set goals that are much more attainable. And they're stepping stone to get to my overall top goal that's way up here, but I feel like I'm accomplishing more along the way. And it puts myself in a much better mindset, and it makes me feel like I'm actually getting things done as opposed to just small, like slowly chipping away and feel like I'm getting nowhere. And so if I could provide that even small thing, which I'm sure some of you are like, well, duh, that's the most simplest thing. But it's just sometimes you get in your head with these little things, and you get so stuck on this one thing that you forget that you can just take a step back, look at the situation, and probably approach it, you know, at a much more different pace and still get there all the same. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say. I want to wrap up there. Appreciate all for seriously all the support. Stay safe out there. And here's to a much better 2021, 2022, and moving forward. So anyways, y'all have a great day. Keep on keeping on Nanogenic. Sign off, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.